Hey everybody, it's Tiffany Lashmet. Welcome back to the Texas Agriculture Law YouTube channel. I'm an extension agricultural law specialist with Texas A&M, and today I'm here to talk about landlocked property. This is one of the topics I get the most questions on as I travel around the state speaking to rural landowners and ag producers. And so I thought it might be worth a quick video just to clear up the misconception once and for all that property cannot be landlocked in Texas. That is false. Property absolutely can be landlocked in Texas if there is not some way to gain legal access. So first and foremost, if you hear someone say, well, property can't be landlocked, someone has to give you access, that is not true. All right, so the law does not work that way, at least here in Texas. And of course, if we think about landlocked property, that can raise a whole host of problems for an owner or a potential purchaser. Right? I mean, the obvious problem is you can't use your land if you can't get to it. So that's problem number one. It also poses some financial problems as well. You can't get title insurance on a property that is landlocked. So if there is no legal access, you can't get title insurance on a property. You also can't borrow money to purchase a property without title insurance. And so that may be problematic. Most entities are not going to allow you to get a mortgage or otherwise use property as collateral if it's landlocked. So all of these pose a real problem for landlocked property owners. So if you own landlocked property, what do you do? Well, the answer is I would take a look. There are about 5 different legal methods you can try to see if you can gain legal access to your property. We've got a fact sheet on that below. We've also got a podcast episode where we go into more detail on this topic in each of these. We'll link that in the show notes, but it's important to understand there's no automatic right to access, all right? Under each of these 5 options, there are different elements you have to prove. If you're able to successfully prove those elements, you may be able to go to court and obtain a judgment that gives you that legal access that you need. All right, but keep that in mind. The other piece of advice I always offer to folks who are dealing with a landlocked property situation is to see if you can work with your neighbors. The best, cheapest, cleanest option to deal with a landlocked property situation is to obtain an express easement from a neighbor. And so if you've got a neighbor who will work with you, right, who's willing to sell you an easement or otherwise grant you an easement, if there's some way to come to an agreement with a neighbor, that's going to save everybody a lot of time, legal fees, court costs, and headaches. So if you're dealing with landlocked property, like I say, we do have resources available to help. Check out our show notes for those. And now you know there can be landlocked property in Texas.